Filipino Tzu Chi volunteers arrange free medical procedures to help a young man regain his vision. Tzu Chi volunteers visit care recipients in remote areas to prepare to send love in the winter. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter has been holding free clinics for years, helping patients who need to undergo surgeries. There were twin brothers, and one of them had poor vision since young. Raymond was diagnosed with cataracts in 2017 and lost his vision in 2018. Even though Tzu Chi could provide free surgeries, Raymond could not afford to travel to Manila. Learning of his condition, Tzu Chi volunteers gave his family a ride and helped them undergo treatment in Manila.
It takes the volunteers 4 hours to drive from Manila to Quezon City, passing by the winding roads and mountain paths. The twin brothers' vision had been deteriorating since 6th grade. They went to Tzu Chi's free clinic a year ago, but they have not undergone the necessary surgeries.
Nung tinawagan po natin sila, ang sabi nga nila ay
When we called them to tell them the date of the surgery, they said that they have only come up with 800 pesos. That is not enough for this family of 3 to travel to Manila. Therefore, we decided to go pick them up at home.
sa pagluwas. Kaya sabi ko, ano kaya ay sunduin na lang natin.
When my eyesight deteriorated, no one could support the family. Therefore, my twin brother had to go to work. Even though he cannot see clearly either, he became the only person who can earn a living to support us. Our mother had a stroke and is speech and hearing impaired.
In fact, their neighbor has told his family about Tzu Chi's free clinic.
Dahil naaawa ko doon sa kanyang nanay.
I really feel for their mother, although I cannot fully understand her. I feel that as a mother, she must feel sad and helpless about the conditions of her sons.
Na siya nahihirapan sa kanyang anak.
In a week, Raymond underwent 2 cataract surgeries at Tzu Chi's free eye clinic in the Philippines. His family and friends were excited when he could finally see again. Raymond could finally see his 11-month-old son. Tzu Chi even helped his mother, Emma, get dentures. Shouldering the responsibilities of supporting the family, Raymond is no longer afraid. Tzu Chi volunteers continue to help Richard treat his eye disease, hoping he can start a new chapter of his life as well.
In the Philippines, a young man named Michael was beaten by passers-by in 2014, and the lump on his face kept increasing. The cementifying fibroma on his left face had affected his breathing and chewing functions. After coming to Taiwan for treatment, he had undergone several surgeries and removed the tumor from his face. The medical team and Michael visited Dharma Master Cheng Yen at the Jing Si Abode.
The young man has come to Jing Si Abode with a sincere heart to meet Dharma Master Cheng Yen. Coming from the Philippines, Michael had a big tumor on his face. With the help of Tzu Chi volunteers, he saw medical treatment at Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center and had removed the tumor from his face.
Excited, siyempre. Dati hindi ako makakalabas dahil siyempre nahiya nga, idukol ako.
I look forward to returning to the Philippines. I no longer need to cover up my face because I have confidence now. I'm confident and grateful to everyone. In the past, people bullied me, but I would not get angry. I simply accepted it because I know that is how my face was.
Dati inubuli ako, masakit sa akin pero hindi ko pinapansin yun dahil alam ko na.
Medical professionals from the plastic surgery, ophthalmology, and dental departments worked together to reconstruct Michael's face, restoring his abilities to talk and chew. Michael and the medical staff have persevered through the many surgeries.
经过多次的治疗以后，目前状况相当稳定。
After undergoing several treatments, his conditions are quite stable now. Last week, we removed his feeding tube. He can eat and talk well. Therefore, we plan to discharge him from the hospital soon.
Treating Michael and other patients with love, the doctors help the patients start a new chapter of their lives.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Sichuan launched Green Action Plastic Reduction activity. Within 1.5 months, more than 3,000 people have participated in this event not to use any plastic bags.
How can you shop in a supermarket without using a plastic bag?
I've kept this bag and use it every time when I come to buy rice.
When coming across the staff of the store who insists on packaging the purchase, Tzu Chi volunteer Jing Si Abode, who implements zero use of plastic bags, brings her own container to hold the things.
When you encounter difficulties or setbacks, you can't give up easily. I have to find a solution to solve this problem. At the same time, also instilling the concept of environmental protection and plastic reduction in many employees of this mall.
Tzu Chi launched Green Action plastic reduction activity in 26 cities of Sichuan.
We have put the focus of our activity on zero use of plastic bags in the coming 4 months from now to the end of the year.
From September till now, about 1.5 months, more than 3,000 people have participated in this event and accumulate the days of plastic reduction by checking in online every day.
When I go shopping, I will not use any plastic bags, but use the shopping bags at home to hold my purchase. I will encourage my classmates to do it together. I think I'll better be the environmental ambassador because I have experienced garbage recycling before.
Everyone, regardless of age, can say no to plastics and be part of the team to assist Tzu Chi in promoting other environmental protection actions, including water saving, energy saving, and embracing vegetarianism.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia went to an elementary school to advocate environmental protection, letting students, their parents, and teachers to experience garbage sorting in recycling station to recognize the importance of environmental protection.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia went to a national elementary school to advocate environmental protection. Environmental protection is not just a slogan. Everyone needs to take actions. Students visit recycling stations, making them aware of the importance of environmental protection.
Environmental protection is very important to us. For example, a wealthy person has brought some clothes and wanted to discard several months later. If there's natural disaster happens somewhere, he can actually donate those clothes to the affected people.
Doing recycling is very important because it can give us a clean environment.
The little hands can protect the earth. The seeds of environmental protection have been planted in the children's hearts.
To participate in the 1030 1% Do a Good Deed campaign, Tzu Chi volunteers brought care recipients in the community to go on the street to cultivate love and compassion.
This is the day we got to come out and show the people. We would like to come out and help those who are in disasters and who need help, because I was one of the victims. So today I got to help the others. So when I do something good, other people can follow.
All of them are Tzu Chi care recipients who want to give back.
I'm very moved by the 1013 incident, so I want to cultivate kindnesses to help people. I was also a Tzu Chi care recipient, so I want to do good deeds and take care of others.
It's a bit embarrassing to ask donations from others because I've never done that before. It's better that we do this together.
Poor Lei takes care of his brother who was paralyzed for a long period of time. He has changed his mood and followed volunteers to go out to cultivate kindness.
I'm very glad today I helped my brother to bathe and dine, and then I came to join the sisters to cultivate love and compassion.
Today is Tzu Chi 1013 campaign. I love to come to help and do good deeds.
Through these collective actions, great love has accumulated and has become a great power. In our coming series, we look at the relation between our diet and how it is affecting climate change and the weather. We will travel to Japan and Mongolia and even investigate the problem of land salinization in Vietnam. And finally, we will return to Taiwan, where crop yields have declined in recent years. Throughout this series, we will see how climate change is creating new challenges and how we can feed our community given the extremes of Mother Nature.
Global warming, in addition to rising temperatures, has led to extreme climate or unusual climate events. The frequency of this occurrence will increase as this phenomenon will be seen around the world.
A UN survey of abnormal climate, war, and economic depression found 53 countries affected, impacting 113 million people around the world. This has led to severe food shortage, like the Mongolian region, where there are severe challenges.
In the past, there were more than 30,000 wells in Mongolia. This is the main source of water for herders, but now these wells are almost all gone.
There was no snow this winter, leading it to be very dry with a lot of dust and no grass to harvest.
In the past 100 years, the rising temperature of Mongolia has been nearly 3 times the global warming average. Because of the high temperature, 90% of the local rainfall evaporates in the atmosphere, and the average rainfall has reduced by 7%. The climate is dry and the land becomes degraded. Mongolian pastures cannot grow anything, making agricultural development difficult.
Because of Mongolia's harsh weather conditions, to grow crops in the winter, they have to depend upon greenhouses.
Grass doesn't grow in moderate to severely degraded land just because of lack of water, but because the land has lost its resilience.
Nearly 2/3 of Mongolia's population suffers from mild and moderate food insecurity, and another 1/5 of the population faces serious food insecurity. It is estimated that in 2050, Mongolia will become a country with extreme food shortages. Extreme weather has an impact on food crops in various countries. Even the world's second largest rice exporter, Vietnam, couldn't be spared.
Previously, northern Vietnam would have one typhoon once a year, but in recent years, we encounter 3 or 4 typhoons.
The total amount of rainfall around the world is not much different, but it has become unevenly distributed. When rains end, the rest of the time is a dry period without rain. Floods and sometimes droughts have caused seawater to seep into soil in Bến Tre Province, Vietnam. The soil of the Mekong River has experienced severe salinization.
Bến Tre Province has 12,000 square meters of farmland, which had no harvest.
Nó héo ở trong cái mình mẹ, nghĩa là nước không tốt và bị gió đây. Cái lúa này
When it comes to harvest, the plant looks like normal, but it is almost all empty.
Và khi nó héo vậy, nó đưa cái đồng lên, thì toàn bộ những hột lúa này nó chắc không hết.
Poor harvest means citizens will have little food to eat. Many here have to rely upon groundwater, but if the land is salinized, they have to rely upon rainwater.
Dạ, cái nguồn nước này nhà con sử dụng là lấy từ trên nóc nhà mưa, nó chảy xuống.
Rainwater is first collected from the eaves, and then this pipe brings it to this water tank.
Chảy vô trong đây thì cha đặng để mình dùng mình nấu ăn á, nhiễm rồi nấu ăn không có được. Nấu canh.
The water stored in the water tank is used to cook rice.
Villagers in Bến Tre have to endure a dry season, which may last for more than half a year. They build this small capacity water storage by themselves, which is a 500-liter water tank, but it isn't enough.
Clean water is the basis of a healthy diet, but the greenhouse effect makes the water cycle very uneven.
Climate change has had a great impact on the salt industry. If there's too much rain, we can't produce salt. If it is too dry, salt production will be too much, and we can't sell it. We are stuck in this position.
The United Nations pointed out that in Vietnam and other countries in recent years has experienced an unpredictable climate, leading residents to fall into a predicament. In the southern province of Vietnam, in just 10 years, salt fields have reduced from 90 hectares to 20 hectares. While the salt industry has been hit hard, the biggest victims of extreme weather are farmers.
Extreme climate phenomena was something that was not often seen before, but it happens very often now.
On May 26, 2019, Hokkaido's high temperature reached 39.5 Celsius, the hottest in 127 years. But this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Japan's extreme climate.
Here is 43 degrees north latitude, the northernmost farmland in Hokkaido. Going north of here, nothing grows. In recent years, Hokkaido is getting hotter and hotter.
Now global warming has made us figure out ways to adapt to the Earth, which should not be discouraged, as we should try to research and develop new varieties of crops.
However, agriculture cannot keep up with the speed of humans' destruction of nature, with natural disasters having dramatic impact, especially in Taiwan. In winter 2018, Taiwan's average daily temperature was 20.46 Celsius, the highest record in 72 years, and it became the fourth winter in history without cold spring. The impact of a warm winter meant crop losses in Taiwan in excess of $11.4 million, impacting more than 5,000 hectares, which was a record high. The study found before 1993 the interval between major floods was about 18 years, and the time between large-scale droughts was 15 years. However, in recent years, the time gap between droughts and floods have been shortened to less than 10 years. Not only is it becoming more frequent, but each disaster is also more pronounced.
In Taiwan, the frequency between drought and flood has basically been shortened quite a lot.
In the past century, typhoons, floods, and droughts have become the norm. The United Nations warns that by 2030, climate change will cause a sharp drop in agricultural production, putting 122 million people at risk of extreme poverty and hunger.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Sichuan visited several villages in mountainous areas to care for them. They are preparing to send winter love to about 6,000 villagers starting from mid-November.
Foreigners seldom visit this secluded mountainous village. On this day, the leader came here with Tzu Chi volunteers to visit a senior whose family relationship is not well. It is the first time for her to share her feelings with a stranger.
There's not much to work in the village. We can only earn our living by working outside. Those staying here are all seniors relying on farming. Their conditions are slightly better than the low-income households. However, they can't enjoy subsistence allowances.
Working opportunities in the village are very little. Young and strong people have moved out to work. It seems that every family has its own difficulties. Grandpa Luo, who is 93 years old, doesn't want to live with his son and daughter-in-law. He only wants to stay in his little shack.
He didn't want to live in the new house built by his son, but stayed in his simple shack instead. Inside the shack was very messy, and he did everything inside that tiny little space. At that moment, my heart was very heavy.
Apart from the villages in mountainous area, volunteers also visit people who are going to have their new year next month. Guided by the leader, volunteers visit schools and hospitals, hoping to cooperate with the local government to start long-term health education. At this impoverished corner of the mountain, volunteers hope that their love could accompany the villagers to get through difficulties and embrace a bright future.
Tzu Chi volunteers received a report from a nurse that a single family was living in a harsh environment. After visiting the family, they've learned that a single mother and her sister, along with 3 children, live in a dirty house. Therefore, volunteers took the first step to clean for them. The couch is piled with clothes and there are many more in the baskets around it. This is the living room, but the chaotic environment has decreased the living quality. Tzu Chi volunteers came to help. Volunteers asked the house owner before throwing away any clothes. The single mother, Mrs. Chen, worked 2 jobs to raise 3 children alone. Her sister, who lives together with them, has joint problems and can't do house chores.
The children went to the doctors and the nurses informed us about their situation. I asked her that if they want to improve their environment, and they said yes.
The nurse felt for their difficult life and reached out to volunteers. On this day, about 30 volunteers came to help. Volunteers scratched off the dirt on the kitchen floor and cleaned the entire house. The act also brought positive impacts to the volunteers.
I was feeling stressed about my job, so I wanted to change my mood. Through this activity, I felt a sense of accomplishment helping them clean. I felt that I dedicated myself to help someone in need.
The house owner smiled when seeing volunteers' devotion. Volunteers gave wishes to the ill sister, and they will continue to accompany the family to get through their difficult time. In Kaohsiung at Tzu Chi Xiaogang Liaison Office, there is a long-term care center. The center has invited grandparents and their grandchildren to make toys together. Besides making special spinning tubs, the participants also made slime together. The children not only had a great time, but they've also learned to interact with the seniors.
Picking up discarded DVDs, the teacher is teaching the grandparents and grandchildren way to make toys. They quickly made the special Beyblades. In addition, they can make safe and environmental friendly slime with glue, detergent, and baking soda.
I usually make these for my child at home. Teacher Lee has invited me to teach everyone, so the grandpas and grandmas can play with their children when they return home.
Even the simplest newspapers can be used to carry balls.
I believe most families still have their grandpas and grandmas. Therefore, I hope the children will understand how to interact with their seniors,
so that the grandpas and their grandchildren can share the same topic and play together.
At Tzu Chi Xiaogang Liaison Office, there's a long-term care center. As the seniors make toys, they can delay the onset of mind deterioration and enjoy some quality time with the children.
Tzu Chi has launched a long-term care spot for seniors at the Xingdian Jingsi Hall last August. This city invited adorable children in DaAi Kindergarten to interact with the seniors. I leave you with these images and thank you for joining us.